If you couldn't tell, today is a special day because today we'll be going over the subject of CognitoHazards and InfoHazards. The Cognito and InfoHazards I have in this video I found from an iceberg on Reddit, which will be linked in the description. Of course, here is the image with the credit to the original author. Let's just get right into it. If you are someone who is superstitious and afraid of information that is hazardous to you, even if it is strictly science fiction, first few Cognito and InfoHazards I mentioned are not harmful in any way, but the ones towards the end will be, if you even believe in that kind of stuff. There will be timestamps in the description along with chapters along the timeline that tell you exactly what I'm covering and exactly what time. There's a timestamp between my fingers whenever the bad stuff begins, so everything that would be considered harmful will be towards the end of the video. Thank you for watching. The term cognitohazard refers to something that, if seen or heard, can cause you psychological, physical, and spiritual harm, while the term infohazard refers to something that is relatively hazardous to know. Little fun fact, technically the word infohazard is an infohazard. The term cognitohazard actually originated from the SCP Foundation website. It was used to refer to like images and other things related to that would harm you if you've seen them or heard them. A good one of this is like if you have an image of a big mountain range, just a little tiny pixel of SCP-096's face, aka Shy Guy, and he'd come after you and he would kill you. Fun stuff. But today we aren't talking about that SCP fiction crap. No. Today we're talking about the real stuff. The stuff that'll make you wish you'd never known it. Like how you're manually breathing and blinking and how you can feel your tongue in your mouth now. Oh yeah. Cognitohazards. So we will start light. Stuff that isn't really hazardous, but stuff that is kind of interesting and annoying to know. For example, the game, which is an example of a cognitohazard. If you do not know what the game is, it is basically a game that every human everywhere is playing. Pretty cool, right? You cannot refuse to play the game, and as I had said, you are always playing the game. The rules to the game are, as previously mentioned, you cannot not play the game. If you think about the game, you lose. And when you lose the game, you have to announce it in some way. So all of you watching the video right now that just lost the game, go comment, I just lost the game. But do not fret, because when your short-term memory runs out, you start playing the game again. Some people will try to make others purposefully lose the game, such as like standing in crowds with a sign saying that I lost the game or you just lost the game. Back in the day, there was even a website called Lose the Game that sold shirts that said lose the game on it that would cause people to lose the game. As of recently, I have seen a lot of like TikToks referencing it, and then like in the comments, people are like, I forgot about the game, or I think I just lost the game, stuff like that. So where did the game come from? In the 1970s, a science society in Cambridge University took the game Finchley Central, another game in which you would name train stations in London, and the first person to name Finchley Central would win the game. The irony of the game being that you could just start the game by saying Finchley Central and you'd win the game. However, the science group at Cambridge took it and flipped it on its head. So instead of the first person to say Finchley Central won the game, the first person who thought of Finchley Central lost the game. Sometime in 2002, a blog post appeared mentioning the game on how it is played today, and since then, that's just how it's been. Placebo and nocebo effects are examples of a cognitohazard. While you have most definitely heard of the placebo effect, which I will quickly explain for those who haven't, Group A takes a pill that does nothing, Group B does. Scientists tell Group A that they took Group B's pills, Group A feels the effects of Group B's pills. Basically what the placebo effect is. Now the more interesting one that I recently learned about is the nocebo effect. The nocebo effect is kind of like the evil, fucked up version of the placebo effect, wherein someone becomes sick or incapacitated by an illness that is not affecting them. Now that might sound a little like Munchausen's, but it is not. The nocebo effect can take place when like a doctor informs a patient about a negative side effect of a medicine, and by thinking that the medicine will be bad, it becomes bad, even if the medicine is inert, like in some of the placebo effect studies. Basically, if you tell somebody what to expect, that is what they will feel. This one is an infohazard. Before I tell you this, do not do this under any circumstances. I am not to be held responsible if you do this. And as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to show you the image of it. Just kidding, I'm lying. Here it is. If you do not know what this image is, it is basically how you can break your thumb ligament. I'm not going to do it and I don't recommend doing it, but you put your thumb in here and then you go, woo, and it breaks it. It's really weird and cursed knowledge, but hey, now you know it. You can do anything with free will. I mean, you can do anything. Does that mean you should do anything? No, of course not. Because if I let myself do anything, my car would be hugging a tree right now. This one is just kind of about how people have access to free will and can do literally anything they want which is kind of a info hazard because now that you know you can do anything, you might just go do anything. It's highly unlikely because of like morals and beliefs and everything, but it's still a possibility. So some quick fire ones real quick. Spoilers, stuff to like video games and movies are considered an info hazard because they're spoilers, you know. Earworms, songs that get stuck in your head, considered a cognito hazard. Traumatizing imagery, because once you see it, it's kind of hard to unsee it, you know. An example of a cognito hazard. Blinking and breathing manually. Sorry about that one. An example of a cognito hazard. Intrusive thoughts, which is a weird one. I'll try to explain it real quick. Having intrusive thoughts can cause stress and can cause you to cause harm to either yourself or others if you act upon them. So it is considered a cognito hazard. And also nuclear launch codes, which is considered an info hazard. Oh, and flashing lights are considered a cognito hazard for people with epilepsy. Epilepsy. Oh, and also hitting that subscribe button. Now that I said it, you want to do it right. No? Too cheesy? Okay, yeah, I'll stop. So here we are. This is the line. Okay, this is the line. If you do not want to see or hear things that might hurt you, leave. Leave. All right, now that those people are gone and it's only me and you, I'm going to show you the real odd stuff. Smile.jpg. It's been a real long time since you've heard that, hasn't it? Is an image of a Siberian husky named Smile Dog, you know, real original. It was a lot easier to do stuff back then. Appears to be smiling this really big, weird, creepy smile. It's considered a cognito hazard. And while I'm only covering Smile Dog, I'm also looping in like all of the other creepypastas that can kill you or harm you or make you go insane or anything like that, because they're basically just kind of like the same thing. I'm gonna put some images on the screen that might be a little bit disturbing. It's just pictures of Smile Dog. If you don't want to see that, you can skip to the next cognito hazard, or you can just listen out for the dings and then continue like listening to what I'm saying. It is said that anyone who sees his face is driven to madness and insanity and will experience nightmares in which they are told to spread the word. So here's the first image. By taking a glance at the original image, you can tell that this dog is not very normal, but a big old pair of big old pearly whites. And damn dude, this thing is just, it just has so much uncanniness, more like uncaniness. The original image was posted to 4chan back in 2008 and was stated to have caused nightmares in which Smile Dog would appear and tell its victims to spread the word, like I had already mentioned. And here is the second image. This image is a really creepily edited version of the first, where it looks like Smile Dog's snout is cut short, bearing a really big old set of pearly whites, along with his ears being cropped, and has weirdly long hair on his head. I'm not 100% sure what that is about. On the creepypasta wiki, this is like considered his true form, so I don't know, but this image did used to scare me as a kid, so I am going to continue. Real Sleep was a video that was posted on the analog horror channel Local 58, which shows you a few number of sleep exercises that apparently make it harder to sleep and mess with your brain's facial recognition. I do not know if that is true because I did not watch the video. I am not really a big fan of horror like that. It freaks me out. Makes you wonder why I'm covering a list of cognito hazards. If you do want to see the video, I'll have a link to the entire channel of Local 58 in the description. Solar plexus clown gliders. If you have no clue what I just said, I didn't either when I first read it. The term solar plexus refers to this area here, like in your diaphragm that has a whole bunch of nerves and everything. That is your solar plexus. There is also a chakra that is related to this area here, also called the solar plexus chakra. By saying, hearing, or reading that term that I said, solar plexus clown gliders, it apparently opens up your solar plexus to an infection from a demon that can come and infect your solar plexus or something. It was a very early internet like chain mail thingy from like the late 80s, early 90s. Like stuff before creepypasta and, you know, all the other good stuff that we have nowadays. Some theories around it suggest that it was actually like a military weapon that used memetics to deteriorate. It is deteriorating my brain. It used memetics to deteriorate the brain. The images associated with the solar plexus clown gliders are very creepy, and I like the way they look, but I'm not going to show them on the video. So there will be a link to the solar plexus clown gliders wiki in the description as well, or you can just go research it yourself and look at all that stuff. It's pretty nice. Virus 23. This one is more of a like existential crisis kind of info hazard. This refers to the idea of an infovirus, a virus that has the ability to spread through information, and from there, spread the said information to more spreaders to spread the information that needs to be spread and cause more viruses. Yeah, but because of the nature of it, I thought it was a cool one, and I do consider it to be a little less lighthearted than the game, or it would have been up there with all the little baby boy stuff. But this one is kind of lame because it doesn't really kill you. And last but not the leastest, not at all, we have tulpas. Oh, how I love the idea of tulpas. I really want to do a video on tulpas because I am very interested in them, but for now, I'll just have to give you a brief explanation in this video here. In Tibetan Buddhism and other kinds of spiritual belief systems, there is said to exist tulpas. A tulpa is a being that is formed by human thought, a thought form, and if a tulpa is to appear, somebody has to think hard and long about a person, place, or thing, or event. A tulpa can form in place of these thoughts, taking on the form of it and kind of like infiltrating its way into your life through your thoughts and ideas. A good example of a tulpa would be an imaginary friend. Imagine being a kid, thinking up an imaginary friend, and a tulpa takes its place, and now you have some weird spiritual being staring you down in the corner as you sleep, and you look towards your mother and you go, "Hey mom, look, Billy's standing in the corner again," and she's like, "What are you even talking about?" This is a touchy subject for me. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to say too much on tulpas because I do want to do like an in-depth review and video on them, so please do look out for that in the future. All right. And that was the video. I know it's another short one, but it is a little longer than that single topic video I made the first time. Hopefully all of you watching are alive and well and capable of liking and subscribing. And if you wouldn't mind, please do comment down any ideas or topics that you would like me to cover, and comment which CognitoHazard was your favorite or a CognitoHazard that I did not cover. Hopefully the audio and visuals of this video was better than the one that I had posted a few days ago. I guess that is all up to my editor, isn't it, Mr. Editor? Well, without much else to say, bye-bye. Hopefully all of you that are watching are alive and well, capable. Why can't I speak?